Ever wondered about the history of the beloved gingerbread cookie? Well, buckle up, because we're about to embark on a sweet journey back in time to uncover the origins of this festive treat. The story of gingerbread is a rich tapestry woven through centuries and across continents. Our tale begins in ancient times, where the earliest form of gingerbread can be traced back to the Greeks and Egyptians who used it for ceremonial purposes. But it wasn't quite the sweet treat we know today. It was more of a honeyed bread, spiced with ginger and other exotic spices brought back by explorers from the far reaches of the globe. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and gingerbread takes on a new role. It was believed to have medicinal properties. Monks and nuns would bake intricate gingerbread tiles, often decorated with edible gold. These tiles were not only a form of sustenance, but were also used as a remedy for indigestion and other ailments. Now let's hop over to the 16th century, where gingerbread takes a delightful turn. It's here in England that gingerbread as we know it begins to take shape, literally. Gingerbread men and women, kings, queens, and even houses start to appear. Queen Elizabeth I is credited with the idea of decorating gingerbread cookies to resemble her guests. As the centuries rolled on, gingerbread became synonymous with the festive season. In Germany, the tradition of making gingerbread houses became popular, inspired by the fairy tale Hansel and Gretel. And in America, the spicy, molasses-rich gingerbread cookies became a Christmas tradition. The recipe for gingerbread has evolved over time. What started as a simple bread sweetened with honey and spiced with ginger has become a delightful combination of flour, sugar, eggs, and a blend of warm spices. So that's the interesting journey of gingerbread cookies from medicinal use to a festive delight. A journey that has taken them from ancient ceremonies to the heart of our holiday celebrations. And that's just the beginning. The story of gingerbread is as rich and varied as the cookie itself. Stay tuned for the next part of our gingerbread saga, where we'll unveil the magic behind the ingredients. Now that you're acquainted with the history, are you eager to bake some gingerbread cookies? To whip up these delightful treats, we'll need various ingredients. Here's the specific recipe we're sticking to. 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, serving as the structure of our cookies, giving them form and solidity. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, our leavening agent, which will enable our cookies to expand and turn fluffy. To incorporate that distinct taste, we'll need 2 teaspoons of ground ginger and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, indeed the heroes of our recipe. We'll also stir in a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt for that extra hint of coziness. Wet ingredients will require unsalted butter, softened for richness enhancement, 3/4 cup of light brown sugar for sweetness and complexity of flavor, and 3/4 cup of molasses to attain that classic sturdy gingerbread taste. An egg is imperative too. It holds everything together, and a teaspoon of vanilla for a dash of aroma. The icing is a straightforward blend of powdered sugar, vanilla extract, and a spoonful of milk. This will gift our cookies a sweet. With these ingredients ready, we're fully prepared for the baking action. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty. Welcome to the heart of gingerbread cookie making, the dough. This is where all the magic happens. We're going to combine our ingredients, stir in some holiday cheer, and create the base of our delicious seasonal treats. Here's how we do it. First, we're going to cream together our butter and brown sugar. This step is crucial for a smooth, well-blended dough. You want your butter to be soft but not melted, and your sugar to be fresh and free of clumps. Then, we'll add in our egg and molasses, 2 ingredients that act as the glue holding our dough together. But what's a gingerbread cookie without its signature spice? In goes our ginger, along with a dash of cinnamon and a hint of cloves. These spices are the soul of our cookies, giving them that familiar, comforting taste of the holidays. Now, it's time for the dry ingredients. We'll gradually mix in our flour, baking soda, and a pinch of salt. This step requires a bit of patience. You don't want to rush it, or you'll end up with a tough dough. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say. As you're mixing, you'll notice the dough coming together. It should be firm, but not too sticky. If it feels too dry, add a splash of milk. If it's too wet, sprinkle in a bit more flour. This is where your intuition comes into play. Trust it. Once your dough is just right, we'll need to chill it. This step is vital for shaping our cookies later on. Wrap it up in some cling film and pop it into the fridge. A couple of hours should do the trick, but overnight is even better. And voila, our gingerbread dough is ready for some chilling. We're one step closer to having our own homemade gingerbread cookies, full of warmth, spice, and everything nice. Remember, baking is not just about following a recipe, but also about putting your heart into it. So, enjoy the process and stay tuned for the next step, shaping and baking. After the dough has chilled, it's time to bring out our cookie cutters. The key to perfectly shaped gingerbread cookies lies in the thickness of the dough. You'll want to aim for a consistency that's not too thin, somewhere around 1/4 inch. Now let's roll out the dough. A handy trick is to roll it out between 2 sheets of parchment paper. This will prevent it from sticking to the rolling pin and your countertop. Once you've achieved the ideal thickness, peel off the top sheet of paper. Here's where the magic happens. Take your cookie cutters and press them into the dough. You can use any shapes you like, but the classic gingerbread man is always a hit. Don't forget to utilize all the dough. After you've cut out your first batch of cookies, gather the remaining dough, roll it out again, and repeat the process. Now that we have our gingerbread shapes ready, let's move on to baking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. While the oven is heating, arrange your cookies on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Ensure there's enough space between each cookie, as they'll expand slightly while baking. Once the oven is ready, slide your baking sheet in and set your timer. For a softer cookie, bake for about 8 to 10 minutes. If you prefer a crisper bite, 12 to 15 minutes should do the trick. Remember, all ovens are different, so keep an eye on your cookies. You're looking for a rich golden brown color. A pro tip here, always let the cookies cool on the baking sheet for a few minutes before transferring them to a cooling rack. This allows them to set and makes them easier to handle. Our cookies are baked to perfection and ready to cool, and there you have it. The smell of freshly baked gingerbread cookies filling your kitchen. It's a sure sign that the holiday season has truly arrived. Our cookies wouldn't be complete without some icing, would they? Let's dive right into it. Icing is the sugary delight that gives our gingerbread cookies their festive charm and unique personality. To make the icing, you'll need just a few basic ingredients: powdered sugar, milk, and vanilla extract. Combine them until you get a smooth and shiny mixture. Now, at 6:57, I'd like to share with you a delicious frosting recipe you can try. 2 tablespoons of softened butter, 2 cups of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk, and optionally, 10 drops of food coloring. Mix these ingredients well until you get a creamy frosting. Now comes the fun part, decorating. Unleash your imagination and creativity. Use a piping bag to carefully outline your gingerbread cookies, then fill in the rest with a smooth layer of icing or frosting. You could even add some food coloring to your icing for a little extra flair. Feel free to embellish your cookies with sprinkles, candy beads, or any other edible decorations you prefer. Remember, each cookie is a blank canvas waiting for your artistic touch. And there you have it, beautifully iced gingerbread cookies ready to be devoured. Remember, the best part about making these cookies is not just eating them, but the joy of creating them. So we've traveled from the past to the present, from the history to the baking of gingerbread cookies. We've journeyed from the ancient civilizations of Greece and Egypt, where gingerbread was used for religious ceremonies, to the medieval fairs of Europe, where gingerbread took on whimsical shapes and decorations. From queens to commoners, gingerbread has been a beloved treat across cultures and centuries. In the Middle Ages, gingerbread was shaped into images of and sold at religious festivals. It was believed to have medicinal properties and was often used as a form of currency. The love for gingerbread traveled to the New World with the Pilgrims and has since become a staple in our holiday traditions. We've also embarked on the culinary expedition of making our own gingerbread cookies. Starting with the simple yet aromatic ingredients of ginger, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and molasses, we created a dough that is both fragrant and flavorful. We've learned the art of rolling and cutting the dough into festive shapes, and the joy of watching them turn golden brown in the oven. The magic doesn't stop there. We've seen the transformation of simple powdered sugar into a glossy icing, the perfect accompaniment to our spiced cookies. Each swirl and dot of icing adding personality and charm to our gingerbread creations. Gingerbread cookies are more than just a sweet treat. They're a symbol of our shared history, a testament to our creative spirit, and a cherished part of our holiday traditions. Every bite is a journey through time, a taste of the past, and a celebration of the present. Whether you're a history buff or a foodie, the story and taste of gingerbread cookies are sure to have left an impression. Now, when it comes to storing your gingerbread cookies, keep in mind that they stay fresh for up to 2 weeks when stored in an airtight container at room temperature. If you're planning for the long term, they can also be frozen for up to 3 months. Until next time, happy baking,